Today, I'm breaking down some money myths that a lot of people believe, but they actually might be holding you back from building real wealth. Hi everyone, I'm Reni, and I am a financial literacy educator and content creator. Today, again, we'll be talking about some money myths, so let's clear up the confusion. And I see this on TikTok a lot, and I always want to scream at my phone, so that's why we're doing this video. Myth number one is that universal life insurance will make you rich. If you're anywhere on TikTok, you see a lot of people who are talking about universal life insurance and how you can be your own bank and lend yourself money. And while I get the idea, I think that it is sold as a way to get rich while protecting your family, but the reality is actually a bit more expensive and complicated. A lot of people pay very high fees for their life insurance policy, where it can be $100, $200, $300 a month that I've seen that people are paying, and it can end up with low returns. The benefit of universal life insurance is that no matter when you pass away, your family will be paid out. But I do think there's a better option where you could literally just use a term life insurance where you could pay $20, $30, $40 a month and then invest the difference in the stock market. Your family will still get money when you pass away, but you will get way more money because you will be actually investing your money rather than just keeping it in a life insurance policy. So that's my take. I know people online will not like it too much, but that is my take. I also have a really detailed podcast episode about this, so I'll leave that in the description box below. Myth number two that I've seen on TikTok is that your credit score doesn't matter if you pay your bills on time. This one hurts my heart a lot. A lot of people believe that their credit score isn't that important, but credit scores are more complex when you consider things like your credit utilization, the mix of credit you have, how long your accounts have been open. And if you do ignore your credit score, it could cost you thousands of dollars in the long run. So that's why I always encourage people, yes, you're paying your bills on time. Yes, maybe your credit score isn't the greatest, but maybe it doesn't affect you right now, but it could definitely affect you in the future. For example, if you want to buy a house, the difference between a, let's say, 3% interest rate versus getting a 5% interest rate is tens of thousands of dollars that you're going to be paying. So maybe it's not affecting you now, but again, it could affect you in the future. I highly recommend that you look at your credit score as something that you should try to keep as high as possible right now, even though it's not affecting you right now. Myth number three, I see a lot of people online saying that you should pay off your mortgage as quickly as possible so that you can be completely debt-free. And while I believe that it is good to be debt-free, sometimes the math doesn't make sense to pay off your mortgage ahead of time. So if your mortgage interest rate is low, let's say it's 1%, 2%, 3%, even 4%, this is a very low interest rate, and it actually might be smarter to invest your money instead. That way your investments can grow more than what you would save in mortgage interest. So the logic is, okay, I'm gonna pay off my entire mortgage. I don't have to pay any interest now. But imagine you could invest that amount every single month, then you could actually let it grow because the average returns in the stock market are 10%, 8 to 10% per year. So if you just invested your money, it's a lot better than just paying off your mortgage. So I highly, again, recommend that you do the math. If you're just paying off your mortgage because it's a solely emotional reason where you just want to be debt free, I hear that. But don't try and justify it as a financial decision. It's probably not the best financial decision to pay off your mortgage. Myth number four, I've done a whole video on this one. I got dragged on Twitter for this one as well. But the myth is that buying a home is always a good investment. Buying a home that you live in is not always a good investment. And I think that hurts a lot of people to hear. It hurts them because they have put their life savings into this home and it's growing. Yes, the equity is growing, but I think a lot of people underestimate just how much a home costs. And the truth is that owning a home comes with costs like maintenance, like property taxes, insurance. There are so many costs associated with owning a home. And sometimes renting can actually be the better option financially. So yes, if you are buying a home as an investment property and the numbers make sense, go for it. I have no issues with that. But I do think that a lot of people kind of justify their home purchase as an investment, but if you're living in it, it typically is not an investment. Myth number five is that renting is just throwing away money. I hear this all the time, and it goes back into the other one where people think that if you own your own home, you are better and renting is stupid. But I do think that renting can actually be incredibly smart because you get the flexibility to move whenever you want. You have lower upfront costs. If something breaks, you just call up your landlord. My tenants just called me up for a $600 repair recently, and if as tenants, they just have to pass it off to someone else. So I do think that it really depends on your situation. And oftentimes, if you are renting somewhere, you could actually just invest more aggressively than if you had to deal with all the headaches that come with home ownership. So I think we should stop the propaganda that rent is a waste of money. It is not a waste of money. You're paying for shelter, and it's actually less stress typically than home ownership. Myth number 6, I hear this all the time, and it is that you need to cut out all luxuries in order to build wealth. This is not my philosophy at all. If you follow some of the famous content creators that are financial content creators, they agree with this. They say if you are in debt, do not spend any money. If you haven't reached $100,000 in investable assets, do not spend any money. But I am not a fan of this. I truly believe that money isn't just about deprivation. It's about being more strategic with your spending, so you can spend on things that bring you joy or growth so that you can actually improve your life. As everyone knows, I travel the world. I like to eat good food. I like to dress nice. And these things do cost money. And if I were to deprive myself of all of these things simply to reach financial goals, I think I would be pretty miserable. So I am big on balance, and I truly believe that you can reach all your financial goals even without deprivation. It may take a little bit longer, but your mental health is important, and enjoying life now is also important because we truly don't know how much longer we have on this planet. And the last myth that I see often is that you should always prioritize debt repayment over investing. I do not agree with this at all. If your debt has a lower interest rate, sometimes investing can actually grow your money a bit faster. So again, if you have credit card debts, let's say it's 19% interest, of course, pay off your credit card debt before you invest. But if you are someone who has student loans, you have a mortgage, you have a line of credit that has low interest, it actually may make sense to pay off, of course, the minimum on this debt, but also invest at the same time. Because as I mentioned earlier, your investments can grow at a rate of 10% a year, and you would make more money if you just invested rather than paid off that debt. The smart move always depends on the numbers, not just about your fear of having debt. So those are some of the myths that I hear pretty often. I'd love to know in the comment section which of these myths surprised you the most, and which of these ones you agree with / disagree with. It's okay to disagree with me. I'd love to hear your take, so let me know in the comment section below. If you want to learn more about money and investing your money, saving, budgeting, all that good stuff, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.